What's going on YouTube and Facebook? This is your boy Blake, the mobile mechanic. Today I'm here with a 2013 Dodge Charger 5.7 liter Hemi, and I'm doing the inner and outer tie rod replacements. This one is a little straightforward. It's not too tedious or difficult if you get the right tools. I'm going to show you what you need and how I do everything step by step. First things first, cotter pin has to come out. All right, take the cotter pin out. This is going to be a 21mm bolt. All right, you can put an impact on it, do a wrench, whatever you prefer. All right. 21. Get it broke off. All right. All right, take the nut off. All right, next step, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna disconnect the boot. All right, mine had the metal band on it. All right, easy way to get these off. Take a screwdriver, take your mallet, put it on that point right there, slap the screwdriver with a hammer and it'll knock it clean off. All right, then the next step that you're gonna do, we're going to disconnect this right here. We're going to get this nut broke. All right, so this one here is going to be a 1-inch or a 24mm. All right, there's a couple options that you have to go at this. You can put a 15mm right here and hold it. I got mine broken already. Is what I did, and I'll show you. Like I said, I take my 15. Put my 15 right here and I pull them together, and as you see, it's disconnecting. All right, and then once I get that loose, got it loose. All right, my next step is going to be disconnect the tie rod in from the ball joint. All right, you got a couple options. If you're a new school mechanic, you can put your fancy little tool on there, twist it till it pops off, or if you're old school, take your hammer, tap it right here on the knuckle itself, not on the arm. You're going to tap it here and it should come right off. All right, so my preferred way, like I said, we're going to hit right there. All right, so I got it off now. Your next step, because you have this one loosened up already, you are going to count the rotations. All right, 1, 2, 3, and so on until it comes off. I'm gonna go ahead and remove mine. Stay tuned. All right, so on my side, mine took 21 rotations for it to come off. You're gonna want to go ahead and take your nut off. You want this bellow and everything to come off. If you have a little difficulty getting the nut off right here, once again, just put the 15mm right here to hold it still while you take the nut off. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this nut off, and then I'm gonna show you how to remove the inner tie rod. Stay tuned. All right, like I said, if you have a little difficulty taking off, like I said, you can put a 15mm right here. That'll hold it from spinning. And you can put another wrench right here to loosen it up and just take it off. All right, I got mine already loosened up. I already got my boot here taken off. All right, so once you get all this off, and I'm trying to show you step by step. I'm not trying to pause it or anything. If I got to, I'll let you know when I pause it so you don't miss anything. All right, so this here, as you see, this tie rod is gone. I mean, it's broke. I mean, there's no play. I mean, look at it, it's all gone. All right, you're supposed to have stiff, you know, that controls it. All right, so from here is what you're going to do now. I have, as you see, I have my tie rod tool here. This is a Maddox from Harbor Freight. They're about $60. It's worth it. So with your tie rod tool, you'll find the size that goes to it. You'll want it to fit snug on there. All right. So See, it goes right on there. And then you'll take your tie rod tool. See, it's got these little teeth that'll lock onto it. And you'll slide it right up on it. Alright. Slides right up on it. You get the lock on. Alright. And then you're going to put your 1/2-inch drive right here. Alright. Use a breaker bar. Alright. Please don't use a ratchet. You will strip your ratchet out. Alright. Put it on the breaker bar. And like with anything, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. This is going to disengage it from there. Once you break it, you take it off, twist it off by hand. Alright. I don't know if you can see in there. See how I got it locked on? Right there. And when I twist, it's going to lock in that little groove. And it's going to disconnect it here from the rack and pinion. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and remove this and show you once I'm done. Alright, so I got mine broke. You see, you just get it loose. Alright, go ahead and take that out. Once you have it broken, you can remove it by hand. Alright. Alright. You're going to have a white plastic disc back there. Alright. That needs to stay on. If that comes off, just push it back on. Alright. This is the disc that I'm talking about. This has to stay on. Alright. Alright, so this is the customer's inner tie rod in. You saw I took it off. Alright. But you see all the play it has in there. Customer went to get an alignment done, couldn't get the alignment done, his tie rods were shot. Alright, so that's what I'm fixing today. You don't need a lot. They say you ain't got to disconnect everything. You ain't got to take the brakes and rotors off. Alright. Now I'm going to install my new one. Alright, now when you are installing your tie rod ends, make sure you put that moly grease in there. You want to get grease in here. You want to get nice and greased up. Put a little on here. Get some right here. Get some grease all around there. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and get mine installed back on. Show you the next step. We're just going to do the reverse process. Going to tighten it up by hand from here. Then I'm going to put my tool back on. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. Put my bellow and my boot and everything back on. Then put everything back together and I'll show you the finished product when I'm done. Alright, so when you're installing it back, alright, this here is red Loctite. We want to put just a little right here on these threads here. That's the part that's going to go back into the rack and pinion here. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put my thread sealant on, put my grease in. Grease is going to go inside this port here. And get the Loctite on first though. Alright, so I got the new inner tie rod in installed, as you see here. I'm going to go ahead and put my tie rod tool back on here. I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. Yep. And then the next step, this comes off, boot goes back on, bellow goes on, but I'm going to show you how to put your grease in right here. Alright. You definitely want to put your grease in here. I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you the next step. Alright, as you can see, I have the outer tie rod on, the inner tie rod in, new nut, quarter pin. I got my one part of the boot back on. I just wanted to show everyone, you know, everything before I put it all back together. Like I said, you want to put a little grease inside there also. You want to make sure this boot here is nice full of grease. Yep. Do that, put your zip tie back on, put the tire on, get the alignment, you're good to go. That's how you do the inner and outer tie rod ends on a 2013 Dodge Charger RT 5.7 liter. This has been Blake, your mobile mechanic. Hit me up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 404-997-9936. Have a blessed day.